Most high-tech nuclear submarine, but Coast Guards were forced to free HMS Astute this evening and tow it towards deeper waters after it ran aground off the Isle of Skye. Even that operation had its own irony. The tugboat used is one of four set to be withdrawn under the spending cuts. The sub, HMS Astute, was unarmed and on sea trials when its rudder is thought to have got stuck on a shingle bank. It all happened in the shallow waters in the Kyle of Lacalsh on the west coast of Scotland, just near the Skye Bridge. Tom Clark reports on the rescue.
HMS Astute in tow, but afloat again, to the huge relief of the Royal Navy. Because this morning, the pride of their submarine fleet was well and truly stuck. The tide mark of algae showing just how high and dry this state-of-the-art sub was stranded. If this wasn't embarrassing enough for the Navy, Astute was now bearing her highly classified rear end. The secret propulsion system of the Navy's stealthiest hunter-killer sub on public display for the first time. Locals were stunned, not least because a sub went aground not far from here in 2002.
Looking at this today, I'm absolutely astounded, really and truthfully, that we would have the very latest, the pride of the British submarine fleet, aground here off Skye. And you can easily see the channel marked there. What happened? I think there's a lot of hard questions need to be asked.
I named the ship Astute.
Christened by the Duchess of Cornwall in 2007, but only officially commissioned this year. Astute is the first of 7 of a class of submarines supposed to become the Navy's most potent weapon, carrying cruise missiles and spearfish torpedoes, but no nuclear warheads. The contract for their completion was thought to be one of the Navy's few victories in this week's spending review. That made this incident all the more embarrassing for the Navy, which moved quickly to reassure the public there was no risk.
She's in a stable condition. She's built to withstand these circumstances. The reactor will be shut down and she'll actually be running on her diesel generators. And of course she's an attack submarine. There are no nuclear weapons on board.
The operation to free the sub was underway all day, tugs standing by to haul Astute free as soon as the tide allowed. She ran aground this morning just after high tide when the sea in the loch reached its maximum depth of 4.9 metres. The sub was then stranded as the tide went out. The next high tide due at 12 minutes past 7 tonight. With a full moon coming, the water level is around 20 centimetres higher than this morning, and it's thought that extra water is what helped lift the Astute from the rocky sea floor. Though no one was harmed in the incident, a £3.5 billion, 7,000-tonne submarine doesn't run aground without a lot of questions being asked. The Navy Board of Inquiry will fully investigate why the sub was stranded in familiar waters.
Moving a 7,500-tonne boat around in shallow waters as there are off in the Kyle of Lacalsh is very, very challenging. The boats are very, very big, they're very, very cumbersome, they don't move very quickly at slow speeds. That requires an awful lot of skill and training on behalf of the crew, but it is very, very difficult to do.
Astute's sea trials are almost over. Channel 4 News understands that depending on the damage caused by today's prang, its entry into active service could be delayed.
Secret files on the death of the former Iraq weapons inspector David Kelly have